We cater to you. Let me cater to you. Let me cater to I wanna let you know, girl, that you live and I am what you do. Don't want me to reassure you, my life will be purpose without you. If I want it, I'm gonna ask you. Flying to be better, challenge me for the better. What do you let me cater to you?
Hello, fam. I just came by. Thank you all for being here with me and listening to my stories and all that good stuff. But we gotta talk about Grandpa. Gotta talk about Grandpa. Yes, Mr. Biden, President Biden, 59th President of the United States of America. Okay, we still don't believe he did the right thing with Miss Griner's case. Okay, but you have to play hardball. You have to get your hands dirty. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Technically, you brought home to us a woman whom Russia, uh, politicians and judges and people over there, law enforcement, they said Brittany was over there smuggling in a concentration linked to marijuana. She had them in food. She was vaping, in other words. And when she first originally got caught, she was saying that she didn't know she had packed those because those were for her recreational purposes. It wasn't for medicinal purposes. It just was for we call it recreational time she put out, and she needed to get the weed up in her system to be able to function. All right, sound like that was piss poor type of behavior, and no, she didn't have to be left over there in Russia's confinements or whatnot. It seems like China and Russia, they share the same type of treatment. It's a whole hard road to toe over there. And same thing in Mexico, I heard as well. But we brought her back and we saluted her as a hero. And I'm like, no. No, 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 no. We got her back. She should have brought her butt back on over here. Debriefs with the government and all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to see if she sold any trade secrets, which I'm like, yeah, this all could be like a smoke screen to get us off something that's brewing a little bit more sinister. We always have to have those salacious stories. Like now we have this one that has resolved itself, and we got people in the entertainment business just disappearing or they showing up dead due to suicide or suicidal thoughts and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, what is really going on? So, uh, we just lost another person in entertainment business. I think he used to be Ellen DeGeneres' DJ on the show, and he did a little other things from what I'm hearing and what I'm learning. We got to keep prayers out for his family because the only thing I could say is everybody's not crazy running around here. You never know what type of whistleblowing type ideas or ideologies they're trying to put out there for the masses to understand and know about. You know what I'm saying? So it's just real concerning, to see people, happy one day and then they killing themselves the next day. The two just don't mix. They don't match. And I'm not saying trying to put, a label on people such as they can't do it or they didn't show signs, but it's just out the ordinary. You remember that girl, that princess? I don't know. She was what was she? She was a pageant queen. I may know who I'm talking about. She's supposed to have jumped off her top story, a building apartment because she was mentally ill as well. And I'm like, could it be a situation where she got pushed? I mean, are we thinking out the box? So, people trying to rush into the entertainment business and try to be amongst the who's in entertainment. But I'm like, should you be really doing that? And the same thing goes with athletes. They go across the world, they play ball, they get to meet and everybody, dignitaries, queens, kings, and anybody up there in the elite circle. And that might be how you call it, you call it? Um, it may be, for lack of a better word, rewarding to be amongst those type of who's peoples in the entertainment business, whether it's music, whether it's the acting world, whether it's the what do you call it, the athletic world, and any other world that creates entertainment for the masses. But I pretty much say if you sit there and sell your soul to the devil, it's gonna come back knocking at the door. You see what I'm saying? They're gonna want something. You're either gonna give it to them, or you're just gonna be like Kanye said, you come up missing. But people try to say brother crazy. Brother ain't crazy. He might know his time is up because he knows some things that he has done in the past for to be amongst the who's who's. And he might well say, "Let me get my soul clean. Let me tell what's going on. I don't know if people gonna believe me or not, but it just is what it is, you know." And so he's dropping very good gems, but a lot of people ain't listening. They ain't listening or looking at the situation for what it is. Always hidden in plain sight. All right, but going back to this story, Brittany Griner, it gets on my nerves because I get upset when I see athletic people or musicians or anybody in the entertainment field get away with doing shit that a normal person wouldn't get away with doing. They'll have us hemmed up. We ain't getting no type of reprieve. The president's not knocking at our jail cell door to try to get us out. You see what I'm saying? That's something the president do when he's on the way out. If he want to pardon some people that did less offenses or to that nature. But this woman, knowingly, and I would bet my bottom dollar on it, she knew what she had packed. You know what I'm saying? Because once you get hooked to the ooey, it's hard to get off the ooey. And she knew exactly what she was doing. So it needs to have been consequences for her. Should she have came back and played ball? Hell no. We need to understand why you went over there and we had to get out of our reserve type of friend post. We had to put one up that we didn't necessarily feel you should have been the candidate of us getting out of trouble. We still got the Marine over there that's been there for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Served this country, did it well, but we can't get him out. We had to get an athletic boy, what do you call it, professional ball player out before we get a person that served our country, for the blanket security that they provide for us. Okay, first it's lower first, Lord Jesus Christ, and then we have, honorable mention people that actually try to be there in the face of danger and will take an order to defend, okay, for freedom. So it doesn't sit well with a lot of people, such as myself. So she went on there and did that mess. We need to strip her of having basketball privileges, playing in games for at least a year, and we don't need her to be paid for at least a year. That would, to me, be somewhat fitting that we didn't just, tap her hand and say, don't do that no more. She could have had house arrest for a year or two. So it'll be known out there that you may be a part of the who's who, but you're not going to slide over the law. You're not over the law, you're not under the law. We just want you right there in the middle. And we need to have put you in a situation where you will still, come over here, get debriefed. We need to put you in the cell for a few days before we decide as the people what we want to do to you for doing that. Because the bargaining chips are low, very low. And we need to get out people that really do some service for our country. And people that were unjustly, everyday folks, put in jail and more sentencing added to their case because we didn't want them out. So I was very, very, very disturbed that our 59th president went over there, listening to the pleas of others here in the States to get her out. But we had this one lady who called herself Brittany's coach that didn't feel like saying anything when she basically got captured over there or they took her hostage. However it happened, I don't really know. Don't really care at the time. But they're getting on her coach who didn't even put up a fight or say a good word to the President of the United States or anybody else in power to go and free one of um, her players. All right. We get this from the Spun.com. Okay. It says sports were furious with Brittany Griner's college coach. Okay. Not her current coach, but her college coach. But again, you know how they say we all just a bunch of cattle. You know, they make bets on us and we follow suit with illegal gambling and stuff when it comes to the sports sector. But she's like, she ain't gonna get her hands dirty. She even say that and may wreck her career by taking up for prison mate, uh, Brittany Griner. So, I ain't gonna get into that. You know, I tried to go talk to some of her friends about it, see if they can give me a little extra scoop on what she really felt about the situation. But time got away from me and I couldn't make that trip. Okay, I couldn't make that trip, y'all. But anyway, it says Brittany Griner officially returned home last week when the United States made the trade with Russia, sending Victor Warabout back overseas, getting the WNBA star in return. Now, this man that we let go, that we had in a nice jail cell, was going over there blowing up the U.S. people, cities, states, and country. Okay, yes, he knew what to do. He knew how to build a bomb or build a case where terrorist folks can come over here and do whatever they want to do because he taught them. Now, we just got the ball player back and sent somebody very destructive, set him free to go and continue to do what he's done many, many times in his past. Okay? And then we got to catch up with him and put him back in jail. But then again, I don't know if that's double jeopardy we can consider that as, or we can keep eyes on him. I don't know how our government gets down. I don't know how our troops are told what missions are important and ones that need to be kept under wraps. Okay, going back to the article, it says while many are happy to see Griner back, there's an ongoing conversation about those surrounding her. Earlier this year, Griner's college coach, Kim Mulkey, didn't say much when asked about her situation. Mulkey received plenty of criticism for her lack of comments. All right, now the criticism is continuing for Mulkey. Players and recruits shouldn't trust Kim Mulkey, who was useless when it came to Brittany Griner's dead spin rope. Okay? Mm-hmm. It said, how can you play for a coach who doesn't have your back or value you? One fan wrote. Real coach would have parachuted into Russia under the cover of darkness and broke her out of prison, wrote another fan. I don't know who that fan was, but he just doing a little bit too much, okay? He need to take a couple of naps and sit down somewhere. There ain't nobody gonna risk their freedom, to go break somebody out of jail, a Russian jail too. Hell, we all would have been over there singing "We Shall Overcome." That's madness. That is total madness. But anyway, going back to the article, it said she said nothing positive about BG. Nothing. Another fan added. I mean, this is the same coach that downplayed sexual assault at Baylor University. Not very surprising. Another fan wrote on Twitter. All right, Moki said she was happy to see Griner come home, though most fans didn't seem to appreciate her comment given what she said before. All right, so you know what? Ooh, child, I ain't finna go singing from the mountaintops trying to say a free Britney and all that stuff, especially if she did it knowingly. You know what I'm saying? It's different when somebody staged something and may have threw it in her backpack or whatever she's carrying, but it wasn't like that. So she admitted to taking the things. She wasn't trying to hide it to that effect. She just felt she needed them. And maybe nobody gave her a culture understanding of Russia, their comings and goings, their rules, their regulations that we cannot accept. You bringing your own personal medicinal, whether you see it as medicinal or recreational type of paraphernalia over there, because that's not how to get down. Okay, you should have talked to some ambassador, or the coach should have talked to some ambassadors on what we can bring and what we need to leave behind. Okay, and knowing Biden, he probably let her smoke one of them illegal things that she got put in prison for on the plane ride back to the U.S. We just can't put nothing past Joe. because he's past his time to be calling himself running anything other than his mouth. But that's all I got. Bam. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video and keep subscribing to the channel. Okay, this is how we grow. And I'll see y'all on the next video. Good night.